up. The law of attraction, The Secret. These things appeared very magical to me when I first started coming across videos way back in the day when YouTube first started getting really popular. And I remember I was really young, I was a teenager, and I was wondering, what the hell are they talking about? Because you can't talk about those sorts of things in the mainstream. You get sent to a mental institution or something, right? But as I matured, as I grew older and explored the different spiritual traditions and just grew in intelligence, grew in understanding, connected deeper with my own self, feel like I understand more about how it actually might work. And the most important thing about things like the law of attraction and manifestation and all these things is that people seem to think that just by thinking about something that they want, they will somehow get it. If they think about it enough, if they visualize it enough. And if it happens like that, cool. But I feel like it goes deeper than that. What we need to understand about thinking is what actually is thinking. A lot of people, or the majority, I would say, of the population, thoughts, images, concepts, but no one can actually feel a thought directly. I think because there's so much of them on a day-to-day basis. If we sit in quiet, if we learn to quiet our mind, even if we can at first, because in my experience, people can't even sit for 5 minutes. And the people that they say sit in meditation, actually what's happening is they're just sitting there, but their mind is either super hyper or they falling asleep inside. But to actually feel ourselves, when we feel ourselves directly, then we can think more consciously. And when we feel the energy behind the thought, we see that the actual image of what the thought is and the energy are two different things. That the image is what the mind projects about the original energy of the thought. If we're sensitive and we move our attention to the energy of the thought, I think that this is what is meant by words like frequency, vibration, and all those kind of magical things that no one seems to be explaining. Like raise your frequency, right? Be more happy and whatnot. But the energy, I found, is a very tangible thing. And when we're young, when we're children, if we remember how happy we were to get a new toy, or how excited we were when we knew what we were going to get for our birthday, or things like that, we need to think, was it really those things that made us happy? Where did the happiness come from? Where did the joy and bliss come from? Where do we feel it? We feel it inside of our own self. And the whole journey towards happiness and joy, what we're seeking, it's not outside of ourselves, as cliche as that is. It's inside of ourselves. But the habitual human consciousness has become stuck in looking outside for objects and for other things to make itself happy, because it doesn't have a relationship with its own self. It hasn't become attuned with what it actually is. Energy in the human is always going out. We're always looking for something. We're always doing something. We never give our time to rest and not do. And in those times, I found that that's when I become the most connected with my inner self, which is a whole new world. It's a whole new thing. And it's actually a process to become stabilized in that. And we can grow into that deeper and deeper. It's not a one-off thing. We go deeper and we find ourselves deeper. And I've said before, into what are we growing? What is this consciousness that we're growing into? I think that's what this whole existence is about. I think this is what the people like Buddha and Jesus and all of these deities like Krishna, I think this is what it's all about. And those humans, they were trying to show something to what they found inside, but obviously, as we can see in the churches, it's been very, very drastically altered. Anyway, that's besides the point. Got sidetracked. The law of attraction and the energy of thought come hand in hand. And in the end, when we feel our own energy, we can feel our own state. We can really see how well we are. And what we truly desire is our own well-being. When it constantly comes from outside, it doesn't last because we haven't made any changes inside of ourselves. We feel good temporarily because something new happened in our life. But what has changed inside? Nothing. And that's why we have to keep going out, and we become addicted to things very easily because they give us that temporary pleasure, that temporary feeling of well-being. I found beyond a shadow of a doubt inside of myself that it's by going inside and letting go of this consciousness of going outside of oneself that true well-being, permanent well-being is found. Because this well-being is none other than our pure nature, our pure self. The self that was already there before any of our personality or identity habitually overtook our energy system in the mind, in the solar plexus, the center of fear. So what we need to strive to attract is our deeper self. And the higher our energy, the more acquainted we are with the deepest consciousness that we have access to. The better is our relationship with life. And that relationship is the law of attraction. That relationship with life will attract new things, will change our relationships with people and everything. That's what I feel that these things actually are. And using the law of attraction as something to get something outside of ourselves is only going further and further from the true well-being that is already there, that we can access and grow into. But everyone is in their own place in evolution, and the angle that I'm speaking from is my own. And I know that there are people that can resonate with it. So